Strategies for developing reading skills is another important aspect of the overall development of reading skills in a language classroom. We could simply assume that effective language instructors would help their students develop certain strategies which would enable them to modify their behavior, their reading behavior, to deal with various situations, kinds of inputs, and reading purposes. So they are not stuck within a certain box. Rather, they could come out of box and employ various strategies in various situations. One of the major purposes of academic reading instruction is to develop or to make effective readers. We call them strategic readers. A strategic reader is one who is able to develop his own strategies. He understands the goals of reading and, as I said, can develop strategies to meet those goals. In this regard, he knows how to work in combination of various strategies in order to perform a certain goal. He knows the demands of comprehension, and he's wary of the possibilities of miscomprehension. At the same time, he could also he also have strategies to deal with such situations where misperception or misconception is feared. Some of the commonly used strategies for reading may involve previewing. Previewing involves looking into the titles or some visuals or section headings in order to get a clue about the text. This involves knowing the content of a reading by looking into these initial titles and visuals. Another important skill is predicting. This is using knowledge, previous knowledge or these titles to predict what may happen in the coming reading or what a student might confront. It involves predicting about content and vocabulary by looking at the text structure or knowledge of the subject matter. It also involves using the knowledge of text type to predict the kind of discourse a reading might offer. Then using knowledge about the author to predict about the writing style and overall atmosphere which would be possibly generated in the reading. And then skimming and scanning are also important, looking into specific or general information for the general understanding of the text. They are also important skills. Then guessing from the context, and this is very important when we have the words which we haven't confronted earlier or we do not know the meanings of. So in such situations, we could guess their meaning from the context using our knowledge of the context or our prior academic knowledge. Then paraphrasing, this happens at the end of a reading where we could stop there and could rephrase what we have read in order to know how far we are able to understand it. Then summarizing, putting that down in few words in order to know or gauge our understanding. Then learning new words throughout the reading, and generating appropriate questions at the end, maybe comprehension questions to show our own understanding. Repairing miscomprehension is also an important skill in this regard, or could possibly be an important strategy. Some strategy may be part of every lesson in a classroom where reading is being done. So a teacher, a good language teacher, might employ such strategies, possibly from the strategies I have just mentioned in their classrooms. How these strategies may be introduced in the classroom, and the most effective way is by modeling. A teacher could model a strategy within the classroom. He could show how to enact it to his students so they may follow what teacher has shown to them. So this could be very effective because students usually learn from their teachers. He could also enhance the use of strategies by allowing students in the class to work in groups or individuals based on certain strategies by using close exercises to review vocabulary items, etc. And in the end, we must be able to know that he can also encourage students to talk about the strategies they have employed within the classroom in order to find out which strategies various students think would be more useful for them in order to perform certain reading assignments.